So the first two families of elements that we're going to take a look at are the group 1 elements, right, known as the alkali metals. The vertical arrangements of elements on the periodic table are known as groups, and those groups are numbered. So the first two columns are group 1 and group 2. Vertical alignments of elements are also known as families, and they're called families because, like members of a family, they share some common characteristics. And with the elements, that's usually things like their chemical properties, physical properties, chemical reactivity, things of that nature. And those families have names. So the group 1 elements, consisting of lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium, are all known as the alkali metals.
The elements of group 1 on the periodic table, the alkali metals, share similar characteristics. They are all very soft metals. They are not found alone in nature because they are very reactive metals, particularly with water. All right, here we go. Lithium and water. Notice similar to the video, okay? Immediately you see the reaction. You get the bubbling, skittering across the surface. That gas that's being generated is hydrogen gas. And
that was awesome.
So the element symbols in most cases closely resemble the names, and you can see where the symbols are derived from, but some of the elements, their symbols are not quite so obvious. So we'll point some of these out here. Lithium has the symbol Li, no big surprise there. But when we look at sodium, sodium symbol Na does not seem to match that name at all. And so that begs the question, why does it have a symbol that's so much different than its name? And we find this with a number of elements across the entire periodic table. And the reason for that is that the elements that have these funky symbols, if you will, that don't quite match the names, is they tend to be fairly old elements, elements that have been known for a long time. And way back in history, the language that was predominant in terms of science and education was Latin. And so a lot of times the elements that have symbols that don't match their names tend to have a Latin origin or a foreign root word origin. And so the Latin name for sodium was natrium. Well, when you see the word natrium, then it's easy to see where Na comes from. Likewise with potassium, potassium symbol K doesn't seem to match up until you consider that the Latin name for potassium is kalium. After that, things are pretty standard then. Rubidium Rb, cesium Cs, and francium Fr. The video that you saw showing the increasing reactivity of lithium to then sodium and then finally potassium, which had a rather explosive effect, gets even more abundant when we talk about rubidium, cesium, and francium, such that it wouldn't really be safe to do it on a desktop in the lab. The elements in group 2 are known as the alkaline earth metals. And these elements are also water reactive, like the alkali metals were, but not nearly as vigorously. And in the alkaline earth metals family, we have beryllium, Be, magnesium, Mg, calcium, Ca, strontium, Sr, barium, Ba, and radium, Ra. And just like the alkali metals, the reactivity of those metals increases as we go down the table